What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got some pretty cool and quick duels for you guys to check out. Actually, the second duel, I'm lying. The second duel is not going to be quick at all, but it is going to be fairly awesome. We don't get a lot of Weather Painter action on this channel, but it's always nice when we get some Weather Painter duels. Weather Painters are getting a new trap card in Dark Neostorm. I believe it's the Rainbow Canvas, and it's a pretty cool card. It allows you to summon a painter from your deck at the cost of just banishing one of your painters on field. Your opponent does have to control a monster though, so it does like kind of require some interaction with them, which kind of sucks. Anyways, at the bottom we have a Danger Thunder Dragon Orcus and one more archetype that's in here, one more type. I believe it's Dinosaur. Yeah, Dinosaur is in here as well. I don't really get why Thunder Dragons are mixed in, because I feel like Thunder Dragons don't really add that much to this deck, but I digress. Anyways, let's go ahead and roll this and see how this is going to shake out. So Weather Painters, my opinion, I think they need to play lots of floodgates, basically go floodgate city, and I still think that Drowning Mirror Force is like really good in the deck. Anyways, his opponent obviously is showing the the Orcus side of the deck, and I've come to the conclusion, if your opponent is playing anything with Orcus in it, I think if you have like a hand trap like Valor, Impermanence, or something like that, just wait for them to make Rusty Bardiche, because you guys will see in this duel, if you actually just like affect Valor to Bardiche through an Orcus play, they're generally just ending with like a bunch of random garbage on the field, or a whole bunch of like kind of random pieces that don't really stop you from playing. If you're playing a deck like Salamangreats or Sky Striker, just wait for this guy right here. You negate this field and look what your opponent has, just like a bunch of random cards that aren't really all that threatening. So that's why I kind of feel like you should go when you're trying to play against that. And also they never drop Azzathot, which is kind of cool, because if you remove Azzathot from this board, it's really not all that good. Now the good thing is, when playing Weather Painters, Azzathot really not that good. Weather Painters don't do a whole lot in their first turn. They are not a combo deck. Actually, Weather Painters is very similar to like Dark Magician. You kind of assemble maybe 2 or 3 pieces from for your combo, and then from there you kind of just like take things over, and it's like a slow grind, but when you get your full board established, then you can just like wreck your opponent. So you can see his opponent is he's not really threatened by the back row, and I believe he's gonna like fully sell out here. He's going for he's going straight for Borrelsword, and when you go Borrelsword, that pretty much tells you that you're trying to win. Now personally, I would have negated the Thunder Canvas, because this is basically Grand Mole. It turns all your Weather Painter monsters into Grand Mole. It allows you to banish one of them and bounce one of your opponent's monsters. I would have negated this with quote text, but the problem is if he does, or excuse me, with the overtext, the problem is if he does negate it with overtext, then he doesn't have a monster in defense mode for or he doesn't have a monster you can put in defense mode for Borrelsword. So I guess it's a little bit of a catch-22. Anyways, he's going to just sacrifice his Rusty Bardiche, but his opponent's got that Drowning Mirror Force, and he knows that that's going to he has to use the overtext, otherwise he's losing 2 monsters. Now correct me if I'm wrong. Based on me reading over text a couple of times, I mean, this guy doesn't tribute itself, it destroys a dino monster, and I don't believe it's not like a cost or anything. Couldn't he have chained Borrelsword Dragon as like chain link, I guess 3, right? Because chain link 1's Mirror Force, chain link 2's overtext, chain link 3 would have been Borrelsword Dragon to put it in defense mode. It still would have been destroyed, but then I believe his Borrelsword would have been able to attack twice. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but he only does get 3,000 damage, and I feel like he's kind of in the driver's seat. But when he top decks the Magic Planner, that just like is perfect. He is going to use the Borrelsword's effect. That doesn't really do anything, and his opponent drew into 2 floodgates. Oh my god, these are the worst if you're playing a combo deck. I mean, if you can keep Borrelsword on the field, maybe, but I just don't see it happening. He did actually banish, or he did actually use the Thunder's effect, and he did get the Weather Painter canvas straight from his deck. He put it on field, which allowed him to summon the Sunny, and now he can just simply bounce his opponent's Borrelsword to his hand, because he already used the effect, or I guess to his extra deck. He's going to flip over, lose 1 turn, because why not? He doesn't have any special summon monsters. Go ahead and do it while you can. And then I believe as soon as his opponent summons a Thunder Dragon, just flip over that Rivalry of Warlords. Now he's locked into the Thunder attribute, and he can't use the Overraptor that he just searched. And I feel like pretty much the clock is like 1 or 2 turns at this point, because the thing is, this card did the Weather Painter, or the Rainbow Canvas, I'm sorry, that did actually speed up the Weather Painter deck into being able to go into the Weather Painter Rainbow a lot more like consistently. If this card would have been a Link 2, I think Weather Painters could have actually been competitive. Like, we may have actually seen them with some regional top 8s and stuff like that, because the deck can be really good when it gets rolling, but getting it rolling is difficult. And you definitely want to go for like, you always want to go for Rainbow if you can, because she's that protection from like Evenly Match and just the kind of Twin Twisters of the worlds and those type of cards. So with his opponent having this many cards on field, he just scoops it up. He knows that he's not going to be able to come back, not through these floodgates anyways. Like, maybe if he didn't have Rivalry and lose one turn, maybe there'd be a small chance of him coming back, but against that, I just don't see it. Anyways, his second duel is going to be, unfortunately, pretty long, and it is one of those, you know, like super pop-off synchro decks. You guys see these on my channel all the time, where essentially, you know, your entire goal is to make Quasar and Blazar Dragon, and usually the person who makes that board almost always wins, but I have seen duels where people get that board broken. It's not that difficult to break these Quasar and Blazar boards if you have something like Conductor Tyranno, or if you have a Kaiju. Those are cards that do it. You guys can see, usually when you add Steam the Cloak in, Doppel Warrior, I mean, it just becomes, can I get 5s on the field? Can I get 2s on the field? Let me get TG Hyper Librarian, etc., etc. I mean, these decks really did not have their ceiling reduced all that much by losing Soul Charge. It just, you know, there's not an easy button anymore. You used to be able to activate Soul Charge, and that would instantly get you, you know, another Blazar / Quasar Dragon, or kind of even get your combo started. But even with those out of the game, it's like, yeah, TG Hyper Librarian just lets you draw so many cards, and Formula Synchron and stuff like that. It's really not that big of a deal. Plus the Black Ring cards are just like nutty for synchro summoning with Steam the Cloak. But this duel is actually going to be interesting, and I'm not gonna lie to the person who sent me this duel. I almost turned it off the first time I watched it. Actually, I think I did. The first time I watched it, I was like, oh geez, another Quasar makes a big board, obliterates the opponent. I'm like, you really think that I haven't seen this? Come on now, I've been Yu-Gi tubing for a decade. So this is his ending board, and it's not the best. Generally, you want to have like C for Dragon 2, or you want to have like double Blazar Dragon plus Quasar, or double Quasar plus Blazar, but it still should be good enough to get the job done, especially when your opponent opened Mare and Ash Blossom dead cards. He's going to normal summon Oviraptor. That's going to get eaten up by the Blazar Dragon. He is going to attempt to try to stop that with the Miscellaneous Saurus, but his opponent says, nah, I'm going to go ahead and use Quasar as well. Now, all his negation is actually gone. He's going to reborn that Oviraptor, because keep in mind, Oviraptor never actually hit the field, which means that it is still able to activate its effect, and he'll probably go for Conductor Tyranno, which he is going to go for. He's going to flip the Quasar Dragon face down. Blazar Dragon is banished, so I believe he's just going to attack. No, he's going for double Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. He's going to attack over, so yeah. Quasar Dragon is gone, and I thought maybe he would have enough damage for game, but not quite. His opponent still has that Blazar Dragon on field. Now, even though he has a billion cards in hand, they're really not that useful. The Instant Fusion is probably the most useful card, because it can try to put one of the cards in face down defense position. He does have 200 life points now, so I'm not even sure if that was really worth it. He is going to have his, no, I think he activated the Blazar Dragon in response to the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I think the second one. So Blazar Dragon is coming back. Now, this is where things are going to get interesting. He's going to activate Shadow Fusion, and he's going to go into Winda. Okay, fair enough. He gets a Gamma in his hand, and he tries to attack for game, but obviously Blazar is just sitting there threatening him. He is going to just lose out on his Conductor Tyranno. Well, I believe it's just going to be called by the grave, so it's not going to have his effect, and then he'll probably just end up running it over. He's going to try to activate the Winda effect, and his opponent's probably going to just negate that with Blazar, but he does have the Gamma in his hand, and I was like, uh-oh, could this guy actually pull this back? This could actually be the comeback. Now, unfortunately, Blazar does come back in the end phase, which that was kind of whack, man. It still comes back, but don't worry, he top decks another copy of Gamma, and I was like, dude, if this guy plays another like Cyframe Driver, I will lose my mind, because obviously he can activate Shadow Fusion. His opponent will activate Blazar Dragon. If he activates the Gamma, he is almost certainly going to be able to win this duel, but he does not play another driver in his deck, and that was unfortunate, man. I got really hyped. I thought that he was actually going to run it back, because if he does summon this Gamma, and he summons the driver. All he has to do is just go into Cyframe Lord Omega and attack. Actually, I mean, hell, I don't even think he needs to do that. Isn't driver like 2500 attack? He could, no. He'd have to bait out the invoked Raijin. I totally forgot that the invoked Raijin has an effect. Maybe what he could have done was, if his opponent didn't use it immediately, the Raijin, I guess he could have technically gone into like Nightmare Cerberus. No, that's only main monster zones. Maybe he didn't have a chance at winning this duel anyways. I just thought about that. I totally forgot about the Invoke Raijin, so I guess it was completely a wash anyways. He got close, but it just wasn't meant to be. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.